I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. MelwithaC is here. Hi!
Hi! Oh my gosh! I'm so glad to be here, finally.
It took a long time, but we finally got the satellites up to make this possible.
Oh yeah, across the ocean.
That's right. I had to call in a couple of my billionaire friends to get this put together.
Yeah,
Oh,
you had connections.
that's right.
Made it happen.
We've been getting trying to get schedules together and everything with Mel for a while now, like a year. but
Oh yeah.
but finally we're here, and I'm so glad. Thank you so much for remembering the old man, and thanks for coming on. How's things going on your end?
Things are going good, yeah.
Well,
I'm actually getting back into streaming a bit more regularly because
mhm.
I actually kind of fell off of it last year too.
You tried to run away completely, but we found you.
Yeah, I tried to crawl. That's what the C stands for in this instance.
Yeah, I always used to say that the M in media meant mooch.
Oh no.
My middle initial is C, and it stands for quality.
I love that. See, the C's in our name stand for connection because we have the
That's right.
connection today.
That's right. We have this connection. And I'm not letting you go either. You have to stay now. We have to get both
I
set
I
up.
will. I took my Concerta today. I will stay put.
First of all, how long have you been doing this VTube thing now?
Uh, I think my 2 years is actually coming up in April.
Mm,
Let me see. Yeah, it says here my first stream was April 12, 2023. Wowie zowie.
yeah. I was in like, whoa, yeah, I have been doing this for a while. So
Yeah,
did you get started with the kind of the pandemic thing, or?
um more of a I just started because I quit my job.
Oh, well,
I was like, oh, I have time now. Let's give this thing a go.
did you watch a lot of VTubers before you got started?
A few, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Um, a little bit of Hololive Ian, like Callie, and a little bit of Gura, mostly Callie though, and then mostly Pikami from Voms
Oh
was
yes,
what really got us into it.
yeah, yeah, and folks should know everybody knows what happens with Pikami, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's doing pretty well for themselves right now. Um,
Mm.
so how about you? When you got started, uh, were you ready to go? Was it scary moment turning that microphone on for the first time?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mm,
If I recall correctly, I just kind of randomly fiddled around with VTuber Kit by Cupin. It's
mm-hmm,
a free VTubing app.
mm-hmm.
Mm,
And
then had my crappy. I still own it. I'm actually still using it as a headset. My crappy headset with the crappy mic.
yeah, but I mean, once you're
uh,
used to it, I mean, it's kind of hard to let go and do something else. If you get
yeah.
if you got a headset, and folks who haven't used headsets, I mean, I've used them now for 40 years. I mean, really.
Oh
Yeah, I
dang.
mean, I started in radio in the 80s, so I mean, we were using them back then. If you get a headset you
Mm-hmm.
like, you don't want to get rid of it. You it fits right. My ears don't sting. That doesn't make my head sweat or anything like that.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Like the wrong headband or whatever you call it.
Remember,
It's a nightmare.
oh, it is. And then when it finally breaks, you're like, oh.
Yeah, I feel that. Like,
Yeah.
oh, goodbye, good friend. Like, but I'm pretty stubborn though. I'm gonna try to repair it first a couple of times, and then when it really gives out,
That's right.
it's just like,
Mm.
please let me go from this mortal realm.
It's only, but it's only set itself on fire twice. It still should be good, you know.
No, I can super glue your headband together. Stop, mother. I want to rest.
No, no, you must stay. They, you got all that, you got everything together, and you got started. Turned that microphone on, and what did you do?
I uh I remember like I just grabbed some random uh stock image of a watercolored farm because I was gonna play Harvest Moon Back to Nature
Yeah.
from PlayStation. It's a farming sim that
Yep.
I really love, and it's actually the reason I wanted to start streaming. Is like I just want to share this really old game that I really love with people. So
Yeah.
I started it, and then I was like, very meekly, oh, let's give this a try, and just kind of slapped my URL on Twitter. I was like, I'm not really expecting anyone to come in.
Hmm?
I'm like mumbling to myself as I set the game up, and then the first person comes in.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, oh God, it's happening.
What have I done?
What have I done? Can I abort mission? No, I'm here. I have the game set up. I can't stop now.
No,
It was so
turn off,
funny.
and just they're trying to subscribe, and you're trying to sign off as quickly as possible. Please don't stop.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The nice thing is, they became my first follower, and we're now really good friends
Cool. That's
ever
excellent.
since.
That's good.
Yeah.
So with where you're at in the time zones and everything, where does most of your
hmm
audience come from?
A lot of them are people in the Philippines, first of all, because that's where I'm from, but
Hmm.
and a bunch of people from across Southeast Asia, like from Malaysia actually, and some from Singapore. But funnily enough, a lot of like Americans, I'm not sure exactly where in America, but like when they're getting started, they say, "Good morning, Mel, I just woke up."
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
Because
It is. This is
yeah,
like 16 hours difference or more, something along
more
those
or
lines.
less, yeah.
Like I'm.
It's anywhere from 12 onwards
Yeah,
of a difference.
yeah. It says when we're recording this right now. It's I'm about 2.5 days ahead of where Mel is. Oh no, you're out 2.5 days ahead of me. Something like that. Yes,
Yeah,
it's
yeah. I'm usually the one in the
that's
future.
right. I can't tell anymore. The date line messes me up.
No,
The
don't worry about it. Same, especially with the lockdowns. Like I already had a bad sense of time. It got even worse.
yes, right. Oh man. And now they're trying to take like some of the states in the U.S. are trying to take back daylight savings time. So nobody's going to know what time it is at any point at that.
Time is but a concept. Let's all just hang.
Yeah, I'm sure not going to understand that thing, and Lord knows I've had a lot of time to understand it. but but
No.
now that you've got this thing started and you've got an audience for you,
Mm-hmm.
when did it hit you that you really do have an audience that's coming for you and not just what you're doing?
Uh, let's see. When did it hit? I feel like somewhere along the lines when I started doing art. Sometimes, because like mostly gaming is what I do.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh no, I need to actually finish some things. But I also want to stream. Why don't I smash both together?
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah. So
people came over and stayed for the art too.
yeah, they did. I was so surprised.
Hmm?
I actually did a cleaning stream this January, I think, because like it was like my comeback streams. Like, hi guys, I'm a mess. Watch me clean my office. And people actually came in and hung out. I was like, what the heck? Y'all, I don't know what your standards are, but I'm glad I met them.
Trying not to
Right? So,
trying not to insult them, and while wondering where they come, what is wrong with these people?
hey, friends, I'm trying to be nice here because like I really don't know what amuses you about me, but okay.
But it's got to be really fulfilling in a way, it doesn't it? I mean, they're there to see you, no matter where they're at, whether they're in the United States or across the street from you.
Mm.
They're still coming to be with you for a period of time in their day.
Oh yeah, yeah, it makes me really happy. And like I know there are some people who are like, "Oh no, small just a few viewers are here." Like, I hear that people are doing the numbers game.
Mm.
To me, it's like, hot damn, like 10 people decided to hang out with me today. I'm
Yeah.
popular.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, when you consider it, it's still people who are taking the time to they could choose however many thousands of people are on at once
Mm.
on the internet, and they chose to be with you on purpose.
Yeah.
Well, not
Yeah,
by
precisely.
it's and it's kind of yeah, you don't want to get a big head with all this stuff, but it sure is nice to know that
Mm.
somebody out there wants to know what you're doing and wants to know what's happening in your life.
Oh yeah. It's been really helpful, especially because I actually find it really hard to go out and socialize otherwise.
Mm.
Like it's actually as you have experience, it's pretty hard to actually catch me on Discord,
We try.
right?
We
Yeah, it's
we
not
set
for lack of trying.
set nets over here and little pit traps over here, but no. Mel just dodges every single one of them every time.
It's the anxiety, thanks. No,
Keeps
but
those.
like it feels like I get to set a date night, so to speak, with a lot of people. Like,
Mm,
okay, I may be hard to catch otherwise, but every Tuesdays and Thursdays you have me for at least anywhere from 2 to 4 hours.
mm,
Let's hang.
yeah.
It's been actually pretty good for my mental health.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Weirdly
it.
enough. Yeah.
That is really a good point to bring up because um, I've heard people using this as kind of a therapy for themselves, but
Mm, mm,
I've
mm.
also heard the other way around where people are watching as kind of therapy for themselves too.
Mm, 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 mm.
So you get coming from both ways, and in the best world, that is everybody's getting something out of it. Have you got that from your chat every once in a while?
Oh yeah. Um, like I get a lot of I like to joke that I live under a rock, very, very many layers. So like it's nice to hear about what's going on, what's going on out there, how people are doing. But also everybody's been very encouraging. Like I've been in and out of therapy since about 2014, currently out.
Mm,
I only go on an as needed basis.
yeah,
Mostly I have psychiatry appointments now for just refills and stuff for the
right,
ADHD.
right.
It's really nice because like so far nobody's been judgmental at all,
Hmm.
and like I'm still training myself to catch myself when I'm like, what's the word for it? Uh, being mean to myself basically is the word I'm looking for. Like,
Yeah,
oh, this art isn't so good, and then
yeah,
someone is in chats like, boop,
yeah,
stop that.
yeah, yeah,
You're doing great. And like, oh, thanks for catching me because
yes,
it helps me catch myself.
yeah.
And we all help each other out.
Oh, it's tough. It's tough to do. I do that myself, and I've
Mm,
been to therapy for that myself.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Where there's no one that can cut me down more than I can. Uh,
I know, right?
I can.
We're too good with that. That's what the C stands for right now,
Oh
cutting
yes,
ourselves.
cut cut the inside right out of you when you and when you get to a point where you're just kind of sitting there and everything that you've done or you perceive that you've done wrong is surrounding you.
Oh my lord, yes.
Yeah, it's
For some bizarre reason, my brain's really good at just looking at the bad stuff or the stuff I haven't done,
mm,
ignoring everything I have done. Like my therapist actually, I've had three therapists pointed out, like, you tell me you do nothing. Okay, can you list down what you've been up to? Okay, and then I list down like 3 pages worth of things, and they're like, "What the heck are you talking about?
yeah, but I didn't do this one.
I didn't do this one. Like, look at this," and I'm like, I don't know how to like drill it into my head.
Yeah,
It's really funny.
I mean, of course, everybody's experience with things like this is their own experience.
Mm, mm.
But I understand a lot what you're talking about with that. Um, the for some of us, it's so much easier. Things I did 50 years ago that were wrong, I remember. Things I normal things I did right maybe 50 years ago, I don't remember so much.
Same, yeah.
Well, you weren't even here
It's
50
it's
years ago.
no, I was around. Let me check. I stopped counting at 25 to be honest with you.
Well, that's a good place to stop.
Oh, I'm turning 35 this year. Neat.
Yeah, cool. I mean, I'm going to be 60.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
You I was gonna ask if retirement works the same way over there as it does here, but like I take it. Are you self-employed?
I
I,
mean,
I always forgot to ask.
yeah, I gotta go 5 more years at least, and
I gotcha. Okay.
and it depends on whether they move the bar or not.
Oh yeah. Here it's like 65. I think it's mandatory.
Yeah,
For government agencies. I think. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's not mandatory, but it's when you can get your better benefits and stuff, and
It's
I'm really
okay.
hoping it's all set, still there when I get there.
I hope so too. I've heard things. I hope it gets better.
Ooh, yes. Well, it's not in my
Yeah.
hands. I just make sure that the wife's set up, and I'll be okay. Um,
Ah.
but the even if you get, and folks who are younger who are listening, younger than
Mm-hmm.
either you, and everybody's younger than me that's listening, I would think. Um, it doesn't necessarily, what you're going through doesn't necessarily work itself out on its own, and it can just continue to sit there and be in the back of your mind and fester and get everything else. If you have the opportunity to get some therapy and help, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Highly recommend it.
yeah. I
And try to find a good therapist because, like, I've had people who felt turned off from therapy because of the therapist. And I was like,
mm,
you had a bad therapist. Find another one.
yeah. Yeah, there's a few of them out there. You don't have to tackle the first one you see, and it may not be for you. Oh, I got a bad one.
Mm.
I guess I'll stick with that for the rest of my life. No, that's not
you
the way it
got a
works.
you got a dud.
Just That's just
But
like
yeah,
me. If I pick the wrong one, okay. Yeah,
it's
that's
not
yeah. None of that stuff.
it's not anyone's fault, right?
No,
It
it's
just
not.
happens.
Yeah, and with this format,
Hmm.
I get a chance to talk to a lot of people, and this helps me out a lot. I mean, I enjoy it so much, and you
Oh,
and you get a chance to uh, kind of be more you than you do normally, and in front of a bunch of people that appreciate that. Um,
mm, mm,
that's
mm.
got to be super helpful.
Oh, it is. Like, I remember when I first considered VTubing, I was like, oh, should I put on like VTuber lore persona? Like a lot of people do, which I really admire.
Mhm.
But then I was like, I slip up so much, I'm probably gonna unmask myself first 5 minutes of stream. I'm just not gonna bother, man. It's gonna be me.
by stream three,
Right?
you it's completely different. I don't even remember anymore.
But yeah, I've had friends come on stream like, and I'm doing co-working usually, and they're chatting, and they're like, "Oh, by the way, guys, on stream Mel, accurate to off stream Mel. I've known them 15 years."
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
That's funny, guys. My email is so old. I've
mhm.
used it since email started, and
Oh my
it ends
god.
in netscape.net.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Now I think I'm the only one in the world that has that at this point, which is pretty
I'm
hilarious.
I'm surprised it still works. To be honest, like,
Well, it's
no
AOL now.
shade. I'm just.
Yeah, AOL owns it, but it's if you go to
Oh, I
AOL.com. But
see.
I use that because it's cool.
I only had it because most of my friends were from back when I was younger, and dial up was the thing, and
Mm,
not a lot of people had it.
mhm.
So most people here didn't have it because it's really expensive.
Yeah.
Uh, most of my online friends were from the States, and they were like, "Don't you have AOL?" I was like, "What the heck is that?" And they're like, "America Online something or other," and like, I'm not from America. Why do you think I own that?
They send you all the discs. Here, use this, use this. We used to get those discs. We used to get like your 24 hours free on this disc, and
Oh my god.
we had. And sometimes you buy these old magazines, and they still have those discs in there, and I just wonder if you can even get them to work on the computer. The computers don't even
That
have
would be
disk drives anymore.
awesome,
It's
right?
yeah, it's pretty hilarious.
Did,
The
did you ever have the PCs that are so scary with their CD drives? Like they like consume, they eat the CD.
Oh, yeah, 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 just
Yeah,
right.
don't bite me,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Oh, my first computer I had was a Commodore 64.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was great for the time. Oh, it was so ahead of its time. Um,
Oh, I bet.
but you also, for one game, you had to load 7 floppy disks.
Oh, I heard. I heard. Was it the really big, like the floppy, like when you wiggle it around, it just
Yeah,
flops?
yeah. There was not the super large ones, but it was big. It was like 5 inches.
Big enough.
Yeah, and
Holy moly.
and boy, if you messed that one up, you never got anything back off of it because there really wasn't any way to repair the
Oh.
discs. It was done, and you had to go back and buy another $75 game in
Oh.
order for
Oh,
it to
good
work.
Lord.
Yeah,
I
it was, and
I
there
feel
was
you.
no internet, obviously. That's none of that
Oh
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
And,
But I think the floppy disks I grew up with were the smaller ones that
mm,
were more rigid.
oh yeah,
But holy moly,
yeah,
thinking back, I can only fit like a few Word documents on it, and that's that.
yes. Oh, I actually did later on get a one of those toaster, I I what was it the
Hmm?
I computers. It was an early
A
Apple,
toaster?
yeah, a toaster computer. It was a black and white. It was an iMac. That's what it was.
Oh.
Yeah, they called them toasters because they were like all in one setup, and it was, and it
Ah.
it was fun, but it was
Mm-hmm,
very limited. Uh, I had
mm-hmm.
two games on it, and it filled it up completely.
Oh my God. Most of mine were like pictures of Dragon Ball Z characters, not gonna lie. And like there's only like five, maybe I was lucky if I could fit 10 images in a floppy disk.
That's true. That is true. Yeah, you pull out some of the and you think, boy, this holds a lot of stuff. And today all of that stuff in the Commodore 64 is there's more stuff in your watch than there was in that Commodore 64. And
Yeah, and like one notepad file probably.
oh yeah, absolutely. And I still play some games online, not
Hmm.
online, but at home, where they're from the older Windows
Hmm.
models, and I have to slow the computer way down for it to work.
Oh my
and,
God.
and
Oh my gosh.
it's a little scary.
I
It
feel
works, but
this.
it's you go from very uh very realistic to very pixelated in a hurry, and with those games. And then
We
what?
were racing so hard for realism. Now we're like, get it
Yes,
crappy again. Come.
yeah. I want realism. I'll go outside. I'm not going to go outside.
Yeah, we were very recently. I was messing around with an old ISO of like, I think it's called Pokemon Play It. It's basically like a tutorial for the Pokemon card game back in the day
Mm,
that is interactive. And
yeah.
like my partner was like, "Oh, this is my childhood." I was like, "What's this?" I never saw it before. And then I was like, "Okay, you want to see it? Let's see if I can get it running." I spent so long trying to get it to run, like compatibility stuff.
Yeah.
And then when it finally loaded, oh my God, that 3D visage was so bad, but so worth it. Like it was nightmare fuel, I tell
Yes.
you.
Well, it probably
I
took.
spent all that time
Yeah, I
for
bet it took
this.
forever to get that thing running on the computer. You had to download probably this and that and the other thing, and
You
yeah, and then you had to worry
gotta
that.
mount it, right?
Yeah, and it's and then emulate some things and hope that this works with that, and oof, and
Oh
and
yeah.
but it was worth it.
It was worth it. And then he goes, "Do you want to stream this?" I'm like, "Don't give me ideas."
You'd have to buy another computer, I would think.
I think I made it run in like Windows 95 compatibility, and but before I figured that out, it was like this computer does not support 800 by 600. What are you talking about? This is 2025,
this 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 thing supports four-dimensional stuff. It's perfectly fine.
right? Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh, I
Oh.
loaded up. I bought Fallout 4 because
Mhm.
I enjoyed 3 and I enjoyed New Vegas, so I got Fallout 4, and then my computer wouldn't run it
Oh no.
because it's a laptop, and I didn't think anything of it at the time. It's
Oh.
a laptop that the screen was actually smashed in, and I've got it on another screen. It works just fine. It's perfectly fine.
Mm-mm.
And I I put it on there, and it says you have no graphics card.
I'm so sorry. That's hilarious.
I'm like, oh,
I
well,
see.
that's a problem.
Good to know.
Yes, I don't think I can fit that in this laptop.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I hope games preservation gets better as time goes on because
yeah.
we there's so much lost media to be honest.
Oh, there is.
Hmm.
There's a lot of these games that were comfort games for people. And, I go back to the game. There's the one game I play over and over again. I know inside and out, but
Yeah.
I go to see how fast I can beat it or something, or a different group of people I start off with. People do that today with the games now
Hmm.
that they paid a lot more money for, and are using add-ons, DLCs, that type of thing to keep their games going. Do you have any
Mm-hmm.
games like that, or do you stick with the classics?
Oh, gee, DLC. I don't think I've downloaded any.
Mm.
Uh, let's see. The most I've tried is, I guess the closest thing I've got is like the redeems I have on stream,
Oh.
which are basically people really like tossing stuff at my head. I've learned over the past 2 years. Yeah. They like to throw snacks at me. They like to throw eggs at my face
Oh.
or at my drink on
Mm.
screen. I'm like, well, if it keeps you guys entertained.
Okay.
I guess that's the closest I've got.
Yes,
I've always wanted to try crowd control though.
oh, I don't know.
Yeah, have you heard of it?
Yes, I've seen it happen, and oh my gosh, the you want to have you want to see whoever how many people in your chat really like you.
Oh, I already know, and I haven't even gotten crowd control yet. Because I did do a few things in OBS where like if I'm playing a game, certain games, they can like flip the screen around because I watch the game through my OBS. So they'll flip it over, they'll make it black and white, they'll flip it horizontal, and I have a command that says no running for games that include running.
Oh no!
And so it's not programmed. It's just command. It just tells me. Chat doesn't want you to run right now. And they did this to me a lot in Legend of Zelda. Can I just say Tears of the Kingdom? I'm like making a break for it. I'm like, I'm gonna get some momentum. I'm gonna jump over this. I'm gonna use the glider, and then I'm gonna fly over there. The moment I was about to fly off the ledge, no running. Well, I guess I'm dying now.
Just right off the cliff. Just
and then it ran out. I was like, okay, finally, this is it. And as soon as I'm about to do it, someone in chat is like, oh, not so fast. It's funny though. It's funny. I never really feel bullied, I guess, because I mean, this was with consent. All of this was with consent.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too. You kind of get. I get this feeling that you're getting a bunch of folks together that you're in it together for the haul. You know.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, it's not me and them. It's us.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you were looking for when you got started?
I don't know if it was necessarily was looking for, but that's kind of how things panned out. Like, I've been told by quite a few fellow streamers that they find it entertaining the way that I interact with chat because, for one thing, they noticed when I'm reading out chat, I like to say, for example, let's pretend you're in my chat. I'll say something like, Eric C. Loy says, hello. And they're like, the way you say the name and says, it's just so wholesome. and really the primary reason I do it is because when I lurk, sometimes I'm not looking at the screen in other people's chats, so I like to know who's talking.
Yeah.
So I figured maybe I'll say the name out loud and then says, and I didn't know that people would really enjoy that. Another thing they mentioned, but I didn't notice I was doing, was like when someone comes in, I'm like, oh, hey there. For example, again, hey there, Eric, welcome in. Everyone say hi to Eric. And then they're like, that is so wholesome. I feel like I'm in a classroom.
Yeah, it's like, this is our new student. His name is Eric. Please make him feel welcome.
Yeah, I also like to ask people their preferred nicknames and pronouns because sometimes somebody comes in with like, I really like PlayStation Gaming 5099. I'm like, what should I call you?
I'll call you like.
Right?
Yeah, and then you mentioned the pronouns thing, which just worries me to death. Being an old man, because because I don't want to do it wrong and I don't want to mess people up. To me, it's and people, other folks that are my age disagree with me, which I'm perfectly fine with in this case.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to call people by things they don't want to be called by. Just rude. For one thing, just plain rude. It
is, yeah.
And so if I mess that up on an interview, I'm just going to roll up into a ball in a corner and start,
Aww.
Yeah, because I don't. The last thing I want to do is make anybody uncomfortable with what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it really seems to me like you're really comfortable with what you're doing right now.
Ah, yeah. Surprisingly, as somebody with social anxiety.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but you have social anxiety, but that is endearing in a way with this. I think it helps. It helps people get to know your personality a little bit.
I get what you mean. Yeah. And I've been I've always been pretty open about my mental health ever since I started going to therapy.
Yeah.
Mostly because I was trying to raise money for it and funding it. I was like, here's everything,
Yeah.
broskies.
Yeah. Well,
And then,
people appreciate
oh
that
yeah, go
though.
ahead.
People appreciate that though. I mean, they,
Mm-mm.
the people who care appreciate that. People with empathy and sympathy will care about that. Um,
Oh yeah.
some people won't, but that's on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just with that though. Do you sometimes think you're oversharing a little bit?
Sometimes, yeah, I try to like, what's the word for timpla in English? Timpla is like, it's like you're measuring slash trying to get the, I use the word timpla for like coffee. You're like trying to get the mix right. You're trying to get the right amount of sugar,
Hmm.
you know.
Right.
So I trying to measure slash just get it right. Like I
Right.
share enough, but not so much that I'm trauma dumping on my chat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty, I think I've gotten pretty good at setting up filters, which is funny as somebody with ADHD because that's like the number one thing a lot of us don't have.
Are you sure you got
Um,
ADHD at this point?
I do. Sometimes I'm like, maybe I don't have ADHD, and then something happens
Yeah.
that
Oh,
was caused by my
yes.
ADHD.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. There it is. It's back. The
But yeah.
but you're very realistic with it. I
Mm.
mean, that's maybe not the right thing, but you don't get a sense of anything fake when on your streams
Mm.
or like here talking with you now. You don't hear anything fake about you. You're just you.
Mm. I feel like it's something I've always joked about, especially when playing games like what's the name of those? Like Avalon, like the ones where you have to lie. I'm
Yes.
really bad at them. I eventually get the hang of it,
Yeah.
but if you get me into a game again, I have to like warm up to it because like I forgot how to lie.
Yeah. Yeah. Your poker face isn't there.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
not to say like I'm the most honest person on planet Earth and I've never said a lie in my life. I mean, that would be a lie.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just that.
But I,
It's just,
yeah, I just feel like there's no point to lying these
yeah.
days. Like, in some cases, when I've tried to like, pump up how I seem to other people, usually that's job interviews. Let's be real.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, these days I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna be me, and then like, if people don't like it, and if I'm pretty sure I haven't done anything reprehensible, I'm good,
Yet.
right? Yeah.
There's still a lot of time.
I have several years left.
That's right.
Many.
Right. Yeah. If I'm any indicator, you have several years left. Yeah, but really, when just talking with you and getting in your streams and lurking a few times and scaring you by
Mm-mm.
showing up, uh, um, it's just so natural for you. Um, does that surprise you?
It does.
I,
Very, very much.
I mean, it just seems like to me that you're almost like you're in the catbird seat with this. You're just so comfortable with it that it's not an overwhelming thing for you to do to interact with chat and have them enjoy you being online with them and that sort of thing. Um,
Hmm.
that's is that something you even thought you would be able to do when you got started?
Heck no.
Huh?
Actually, one of my good friends, Lethal Yarn,
Hmm.
comes lurks in stream every once in a while. Also was streaming, but had to take a do you say it hiatus? Hiatus? I don't know. The break.
Hiatus.
He took a break
Yeah, he took a break.
for health
Yes.
reasons. Yeah. Um, we've known each other. Oh my God, almost by December this year, it's gonna be 25 years online. We still
Oof.
haven't met in person. He's across the ocean from me. But I remember he was absolutely gobsmacked when he found out I started VTubing.
Yeah.
He was like, "Look at this quiet little girl in the corner, suddenly like being all over the place in stream. What the heck? That's inspiring. I'm gonna start streaming too."
Ah, you're a role model now.
I know. And then he joked. So if you guys hate my streams, he said, blame Mel.
That's Mel with a C. And here's how to get a
No,
hold
but
of him.
like everybody I know was surprised that I started streaming because like it is I feel like this is where the joke people say that are you sure you're an introvert applies because they're like, are you sure you're not just an extrovert with social anxiety? It's like at this rate I really don't know because I did grow up very very sheltered. Yarn knows this. A couple of people who've known me
Yeah.
over the years know this. So I really did not know how to interact with people.
Mm-hmm.
I actually do suspect I might be on the spectrum, but I can't figure out if that is the case because of the over-shelteredness,
Right.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't have
I
that,
guess,
if you don't have that
yeah.
exposure early on, you don't really know that sort of thing. But well, I can say this, and I can say it
Mhm.
pretty. I mean, I don't know about everything else that's going on, but it seems to me
Mhm.
that this is really good for you, and you're good for it.
Mm. I I felt pretty weird not streaming regularly most of the latter half of last year.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly I burnt myself out a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I was way too excited with all the stuff I was doing. So there's the ADHD.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to keep an even pace this time around.
Mm-hmm.
But when I came back, it felt like, oh, what was the metaphor I heard before? It's like if you're a duckling and you like waddle back into the water and it feels so natural, you will go so smoothly.
Yeah.
You know, you like waddle around on land like, oh my God, what am I doing? The moment you're in the water though, where you're comfy, you're like, oh yeah, this is my jam.
Yeah.
Let's go. It
This
feels like
is
that.
this is where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, like never in my life did I think VTubing. Well, first of all, never would I think that I was a duckling, but second of all, never did I think I would VTube at all.
Mm.
So, my partner's been so supportive as well, which has helped a lot. Like
Yeah.
he basically does almost all my assets.
Mhm.
It's amazing what he does.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I
and
think
like,
I just think it's amazing what you've
yes.
done. What you've done, given what you said you come from, and now just like blossoming online with this.
Oh,
It's
thank you.
it's great, and we get to when we the audience get to have the reward of finding out what you're all about and get to spend time with you and enjoy your company. Uh,
Mm.
and I'm going to have all the links I can in the description for this interview.
Thank you.
And
Thank you so much.
I I joke about how it was tough to get us together, but I'm glad, absolutely over the moon that we were able to do this interview.
Same.
And we're gonna have to do another one, so I'll schedule you for like 2028.
You know, start them early. You might just be right on time because we're gonna say 2026, let's go, and then like, oh my God, Eric, I'm so sorry, it's 2027.
It'll be the one time all year you can do it, and then that will be like I'll trip and hit my head on something.
Oh my God.
Can't go online.
I was actually really worried yesterday because like Tuesday night I came down with something and the first thing I thought was, oh no, Eric.
I was going to get on a plane. I've never been on a plane in my life, but I was going to get on a plane.
Gonna barge into my office like, MelwithaC, sit down, we're gonna have this interview.
Put down an old Radio Shack tape recorder. We're going to do this right now.
We're out here right now. We're like, okay, chat, I guess we're doing this now. Fortunately, I took a day off yesterday. Like I just slept the whole day yesterday, and I'm all good. I'm so happy I didn't end up having to cancel. I was gonna be so embarrassed.
I am absolutely over the moon, Mel. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
And,
Thank you so much.
And let us know what's going on, and get some big things going. Let me know so we can promo it. Okay?
Oh, sure. At the moment, I've just been playing a bunch of How to Full Boyfriend.
I know that. If you want to see How to Full
Limo.
Boyfriend right now, we got the links.
No, but
We got the links in the description.
yeah, if you guys want to watch me raise pigeons on stream, I can't believe I just said that out loud.
Well, that's another first for you.
Yep. There's a lot of interesting things you do as a VTuber.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And you have a pleasant day.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.